injuries in that game. We hope the guys are ready for Oak Ridge this coming Friday night, and a big one last time. The Dragons, though, won at Oak Ridge in the playoffs. You've got a couple guys you'll be talking to, Coach Eric Woodard at Clinton Middle School and Jackson Harrell, Clinton High School player that is doing quite well.
Yeah, a couple guests coming in later on. As you mentioned, middle school coach Eric Woodard and Jackson Harrell, a junior at Clinton. But definitely Miss Jasper does a great job hosting this show, and we hope he gets to feeling better.
Oh, that's for sure. Let's recap last week's scoring around East Tennessee in case anybody's missed those. Powell 48, Clinton 8. Clinton will travel to Oak Ridge Friday night. Blankenship Field will, of course, have the broadcast on WYSH AM 1380, FM 99.5, FM 101.1, and also WYSHradio.com. Anderson County over Seymour 56-12. They will be hosting Carter on Friday. Other games of interest: Coalfield 53, Harriman 27, Greenback 34, Oakdale 6, Kingston 51, Scott 21, Lenoir City 34, Campbell County 14, Midway 30, and Sunbright 18. And a lot of games around the area, and of course some big ones coming up this week that we'll get to in just a minute.
Any surprises last week, Walter?
Not really, to be quite honest with you. It didn't seem like there was much that, except maybe Greenback against Oakdale. I didn't think that would be, I thought that would be a lot closer football game. And Sunbright's still quite young and not able to get a win, and probably won't for quite some time to come. But
okay, once again, my name's John Sleepy Williams, and joined by Walter Stair on the OEB Law Sports Talk here on WYSH, and filling in for Jasper once again. And he just does a great job, I think, Walter, with lining up the guests, and we got a couple good ones coming up later in the show, but we hope Jasper gets to feeling better. Does a lot there with the Pass for Cash as well, and does a trivia tonight. Also, we have a trivia question from Fast Lane Repair Shop, and it's a $50 value. And our trivia question tonight is, coming on the heels of the Clinton Oak Ridge game coming up Friday night, when was the last time Clinton defeated Oak Ridge in back-to-back seasons? Of course, Clinton defeated Oak Ridge last year in the second round of the state playoffs at Oak Ridge, 24-21, but the Dragons going for back-to-back wins, Walter.
That is true. And Oak Ridge got a big win over McMinn County this past Friday, 31-6, and Oliver Springs also defeated Rockwood 38-19, and should indeed be a good one on Friday. I think the Dragons don't have. How's the best way of saying it? They aren't intimidated by Oak Ridge to the degree that they had been in some years before. I think that mystique has it's gone awry or gone by the wayside. James David has joined us. James David, come in here and give your aspect and thoughts, student-wise, to what happened last Friday, and of course the big one against Oak Ridge this coming Friday night.
Well, the Powell game was tough. I mean, Powell's got a really good football program, and we obviously could have played a lot better, and it was a really tough game. But Oak Ridge, that's a really exciting game. At Oak Ridge, it's pretty nearby, so I have a feeling a lot of kids from our school are going to be there. Oak Ridge is probably not very happy we beat them last year, so it's going to be a really great atmosphere and a really great game.
And James David, is there any pep rallies planned at school this week for the big game against the Dragons' arch rival?
I'm not for sure. There was one for the PAL game because homecoming, but I'm not for sure if there's going to be one for Oak Ridge. I hope there is.
Mm-hmm. Well, once again, our trivia question, when was the last time the Dragons defeated the Wildcats in back-to-back seasons? And we know last year they defeated them for the first time since 2009, but when was the last time Clinton won back-to-back games over their arch rival? We'll have the history lesson coming up by somebody. I'm not sure who that is, Walter, but coming into the break, we'll have a history lesson. I believe it's John Sleepy Williams, so he may have a clue as to when the Dragons went back-to-back, so you want to tune into that.
Well, no, that's true. Do we need to take a break now? What time is it there, Melissa? Okay. Well, anyway, let's talk about the Tennessee Sports Writers polls. In single A, Coalfield is number 3, Oliver Springs number 5, and South Pittsburgh is number 9. Let's take this call.
Okay.
Well, they just hung up. Okay. Let's take a break. OEB Law timeout, back after this.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OEB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
Big C's Barbershop. This isn't a sit around, get your hair colored 13 different shades while getting your nails done type of place. At Big C's Barbershop, it's all about getting a great haircut, shave, and beard trim fast, good, and at a great rate. Don't just wait and wait and wait for a haircut. Get to Big C's Barbershop. Come on in and see Master Barber Clarence Adamson. Big C's Barbershop at 108A Oak Ridge Turnpike. Great haircut at a reasonable rate.
Hello, this is Carol at Clinton True Value Home Center. We have been serving our customers for many years, and we are still here to serve you. We are a source for all projects, commercial and home use. Our September bargain of the month is Pennzoil, quarts of oil, tape rulers, wheelbarrows, primers, and more. We are located at 130 JD Industrial Parkway in Clinton, Tennessee. Our phone number is 865-457-1593.
Hello, everyone. This is John Sleepy Williams with this week's Clinton Dragons football history lesson. The history lesson this week focuses on the rivalry between the Clinton Dragons and the Powell Panthers. Powell leads the all-time series, 33 wins to 22 losses. Powell has won the last 5 meetings on the field. However, the Dragons were awarded a forfeit win in 2018 due to Powell having an ineligible player. The forfeit allowed the Dragons to make the playoffs and a trip to Saudi Daisy after a season-ending victory over District. We apologize for that. That was last week's history lesson with the Powell Panthers, but this week, of course, we have one for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, Walter, and basically, I try to recall off the top of my head here. I could play it off my phone, but anyway, this will be the 64th meeting between the Dragons and the Wildcats, with Oak Ridge holding a 50-13 edge in the series. The first game in the series was back in 1943, and actually Clinton and Oak Ridge played twice that season. And Clinton shut out Oak Ridge 20-0 and 13-0, both those games in Clinton. Of course, last year the Dragons getting a big 24-21 win over the Wildcats at Blankenship Field, and that game was in the playoffs. And that was the first meeting between Clinton and Oak Ridge, first time they've ever played in the state playoffs.
And that was my Christmas present for last year. And it was a good one.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving and Christmas all tied into one for that big win. But the Dragons will be going for back-to-back wins over the Wildcats on Friday night in Oak Ridge. Just looking back at some of the victories for the Dragons, have been few and far between since 1970. The Dragons and Wildcats played once in the 50s. It was 57. Oak Ridge won that game big. I heard there was had a big fight after that game or during the game or whatever, so both schools decided not to play each other, and they didn't resume the series again until 1970. And, of course, Walter, you was probably there. I know I was, and I remember a long pass from Billy Boland to Larry Severs to get it down close to the goal line, and Terry Moore took it in on a short touchdown run to give the Dragons comfort behind 18-14 win over the Wildcats.
That was a thing of beauty, and I just wish there was a whole lot more of those wonderful occasions against our arch rival.
But as I said, wins have been few and far between. Only 13 wins in these series for Clinton. Other victories were besides 1970. We won in 1972, 9-0. I recall that game. They carried Coach Honey out in the middle of the field and dumped him in the mud. It was a big rainstorm that night, and I'll never forget watching that as a kid. The Dragons didn't get another win in the series to 1986, and Joe Wallace was the quarterback of that team, and that snapped like a 13-game losing streak to the Wildcats. Okay, we have a call coming in. Let's go ahead and take it. Go ahead, caller. Do you have an answer to our trivia?
1970.
No, ma'am, it's not 1970. We're looking for the back-to-back wins for the Dragons over the Wildcats. 1970 is not correct.
All right.
Okay, we'll go ahead. And as I mentioned, 1986 was a big win. Walter, you recall that game?
I recall it very well indeed, and it was a nice win for the Dragons, a little bit unexpected and came out of nowhere, but I was so glad we got it.
Right, Joe Wallace, quarterback. Of course, he was one of the three Wallace brothers that played for Clinton. He threw a Hail Mary right before halftime, hit Toby Willis to give the Dragons a big boost going into halftime. Okay, we got another call. Go ahead, caller. Do you have an answer to our trivia question?
I'm going to give it a shot out of left field.
All right, go ahead, sir.
72-73.
No, sir, that would not be correct. Good try, though.
Oh, all right, I appreciate you.
I remember that 73 game. Massey Ellis got thrown out of the game. He was running all over the Wildcats, and somebody sucker punched him, and Massey retaliated, and they threw Massey out of the game, and the Dragons ended up losing 3-0 that year on a long field goal by Mr. Carson.
You remember things well. That's why you do the history lesson.
I remember things further back than I do yesterday.
Or what I did 5 minutes ago.
Exactly. The next win for the Dragons was in 1992, and, man, what a win that was. The largest crowd in the history of Dragon Stadium there that night. I couldn't believe it. It was like going to a UT football game. You couldn't even get to your seat there on the old home side for the Dragons.
Oh, it was that was a thing of beauty. That is probably my second best win Dragon-wise, beating Oak Ridge in 92.
Right. Darren Scarborough hit Scotty Whitt the touchdown pass in the first quarter, extra point, no good. It held up 6-0. I remember Clinton, they held Oak Ridge inside the red zone about 4 or 5 times that night. They bent, but they didn't break, and just a fantastic win. The next win in the series for Clinton was in 1997, and I actually missed that game. I had gone to the Swamp to watch Peyton Manning and the Vols play, but I couldn't believe the Dragons won that night.
Oh, that was something else to behold. I remember, which I was at another place. I was in Claiborne County at that time, and I called Jim and woke up his new baby, and he was glad that we won the game, but he was not glad that his baby that had just been born not too long ago was woke up. But the Dragons got that great win against Oak Ridge in '97. That was another one that was a real surprise.
Yeah, it sort of surprised me as well. I remember calling my mom. I was in Gainesville and asked her who won the game, and she said, we did. And I said, what? I couldn't believe it, and she sort of got upset with me because I didn't believe her. But, Jason Weber, he ran wild that night. I think Jermaine Shepard had a really good game. Tony Coaston was quarterback, and the fans or somebody went on the field at Blankenship after the game, and they bent the goalpost.
Well, that's
at Oak Ridge. You don't see that very much in high school football, but Clinton actually, the fans went on the field and bent the goalpost. I've got a picture of it if anybody wants to see it. But anyway, that was the next win. Didn't come until 2008. Walter, Clinton won at home over Oak Ridge. Weston Hazelhurst got injured in that game, I remember. But Clinton ended up, they won big that night over Scott Blade and his Oak Ridge Wildcats. Andy Shattuck, then the head coach of the Dragons.
How are you going to handle this from here without you giving anything away? That's what's going to be interesting.
Well, the following year in 2009, special year for the Dragons, got the win at Blankenship, and Weston Hazelhurst got injured again that game. That was sort of put a damper on that victory, but Clinton won 16-14. I remember Darian Stone had a long touchdown run to put the Dragons ahead, and that was a beautiful victory for Clinton. They went undefeated in that regular season.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty. That quarterback Clinton had at that time, and Hazelhurst, a 1-2 punch, that was very hard to beat.
And that was the last win for the Dragons over the Wildcats until last year. And Clinton actually lost the home regular season game to Oak Ridge, 37-24, but they got a bit of a revenge at Oak Ridge in the second round of the playoffs, winning 24-21. So we got another call. Go ahead, caller. You have an answer to our trivia question?
8 and 9.
Excuse me?
2008 and 9.
You are correct. 2008 and 2009, the last wins for Clinton over Oak Ridge in back-to-back seasons. And who am I speaking with?
Brenda Jones.
Brenda Jones. Okay, Brenda, we'll put your name down here, and you have won a $50, what do you say, check or a
gift certificate?
Gift certificate to Fast Lane Repair. It's worth $50 in value, whatever you want to get there at Fast Lane Repair. So just come up by the station, and we'll let you have it.
Thank you much.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And that was Brenda Moore. Brenda Jones with the answer. So tomorrow night, we're hoping the Dragons can make it back-to-back wins over Oak Ridge. Well, not tomorrow night, but Friday night.
Oh, I tell you, I always want to beat Oak Ridge, and I particularly want to beat them at Blankenship Field, but we hardly have ever beat them there. I guess you go back to 1997 to get a win at Blankenship Field besides last year. And last year was just wonderful and extra good because it was playoff win.
Mm-hmm. And James David, what's your thoughts on the game Friday night? What's the Dragons got to do to go down there and get a win? It's tough to win down there. I'd have to say Oak Ridge is probably the favorite in this game.
Well, yeah, I would assume they are too. Well, I think our biggest thing is I think our offense needs to perform well. Our offense needs to put points on the board consistently and the whole game. Like, they need to be able to put up points consistently and early. Because I'm not worried about our defense. I think our defense is going to play great, and I think our defense is going to hold Oak Ridge to reasonable amount of points. But our offense, once again, has to be able to complement our defense. And that's kind of just something I've seen throughout the year, is our offense is inconsistent at times. So if our offense can really start to hum, I think we can be really good.
I think you're correct. We had a few drop passes last week early in the game against Powell, so definitely need to take advantage when we make catches and get first downs. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take another break. You are listening to OEB Law Sports Talk here on WYSH. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
It's Customer Appreciation Week and the biggest sale of the year at Powell Clinch Utility District in Rocky Top in LaFollette. September 24th through the 27th, get 20% off all indoor heating products and accessories. Visit our showroom in Rocky Top to see all of the great options from heaters, cast iron stoves, mantles, gas logs, and more. 0% financing and installation available. Register to win daily prizes and the grand prize, a Blackstone griddle with natural gas conversion. Don't miss PCUD's heating sale. Learn more at pcud.org. Certain restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Tim Elrod. Over the years, you've heard us at OEB Law say, let us turn your wreck into a check. We still do that for many families, but I want to take the time to go beyond the slogan. I think I've learned over the years, and more every day, that the most important thing for an attorney to understand is the value of being a partner to you. When you and your family call an attorney, you're calling because you need some help. You need someone to pull alongside you and stand with you. We understand the process of the legal system. You probably don't. So it's our responsibility to keep you informed about every step of the process. You're going to have questions about what's going on. What's next? What do I need to know? Our responsibility is to guide you through the process with the information that you need, the answers to your questions, and the assurance that we have your back at OEB Law. You have my word. We stand with you because communication is key.
Exciting news from Shylock's Pond. They've got a big sale going on. Everything in the outside sales area will be marked down. And they have several items: chainsaws, bicycles, generators, table saws, and much more. Hurry in because this sale ends September 30th at Shylock's Pond, 1204 Clinch Avenue in Clinton. 865-457-2960. And remember, if you need money, Shylock's has cash for you.
It's football time in Tennessee, and Hammer's Dry Goods is stocked up with game day clothing for the entire family. We're also receiving new shipments of clothing every day for hiking, fishing, and outdoor fun. Ladies and girls' boutique fashions are 25% off Hammer's regularly low marked prices. Check out our huge inventory of ladies' boutique-style shoes and boots at discount prices. Come and see our complete fall line of ladies' fashion goods and accessories from Simply Southern. Select from a special purchase of comfort color sweatshirts, long-sleeve tees, all at Hammer's low prices, and choose from our largest inventory of Wrangler ATG hiking and work pants. We also have stacks upon stacks of famous brand men's boots for $99. Visit Hammer's Facebook and Instagram for daily deals and new items. Come and see us at our new location in the big brick building right across from Anderson County High School, or visit our other locations in Sevierville, Wartburg, Halls, and Newcastle. If you miss a day, you miss a bargain at Hammer's.
Welcome back into the OEB Law Sports Talk here on WYSH, and it's time for our student athlete interview. And we have in studio with us from the Clinton Dragons, Jackson Harrell. He's a junior middle linebacker and fullback. And Jackson, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
You look like you're fresh off practice, and talk a little bit about practice today.
Practice was good today. The intensity was high. There was a lot of learning being done. There was a lot of teaching. We can come out tomorrow and rep it a little better, I think, because there'll be less teaching going on. But today practice was a good, productive day of practice.
Mm-hmm. I know the Dragons. I know y'all coming off a tough loss last week to a tough opponent in the Powell Panthers. What's your thoughts, going into another region game? Of course, the Dragons are 1-0 in the region, going to Oak Ridge to play. I know you was there last year in that win in the playoffs, but what's the mindset going in to Friday night at Oak Ridge?
Man, we know it's a big game, but at the end of the day, it's just another football game. You got to go out there and just play football. We can't let the fact that it's Oak Ridge get in our head. That can't play a factor in the game at all.
All right, Jackson, I have to ask you this first before we get on into some other questions, but let's talk about that big hit you had against Campbell County a few weeks ago. That was quite the tackle.
Yeah, I seen Bo Wright come up and set the edge, and I seen that guy slow down to cut back. So, I mean, it just all the right things happened for that play to happen. There was a lot of guys involved in that play other than me.
All right, we're joined by Jackson Harrell, a junior middle linebacker and fullback for Clinton High School Dragons. And Jackson, I know you have an older sister, Sydney, plays basketball for the Lady Dragons. Your father, he's been, he's the new principal there at Clinton High School and a former Dragon himself. So you're a legacy kid. But just talk a little bit about your dad, him being the principal, and what's that like being in school?
Well, school didn't really change much, other than the fact that he's there and I know he's there. So, but the school's better. I feel like it's a better environment for everybody, and no matter who you are in the school, I think it's went in a positive direction for sure.
Do you see your dad in the hallways sometime?
Yeah, he's got to go off campus and do other duties a lot, but when he's there, he's seen the kids see him around.
Mm-hmm. And Jackson, what kind of courses are you taking this year? Just a junior, and so what kind of classes?
I have a Roan State dual enrollment class, and then I'm in English 3 honors, and then I have a business class for my next class, and the rest of the day I have football.
Do you have like fifth block, or?
Yeah, so we have 5 blocks, so we get 2 blocks for football.
Okay, do you do some weight training in that, or?
Yeah, we try to work out as much as we can, and then obviously watch film, and then get a jump on practice, do special teams, and the little stuff that really goes unnoticed in the game before 4 o'clock when practice starts.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about last week's game with Powell. I know they're a really big team, and what are some things y'all can take away from that?
We got whooped up front, I think. We can take that and learn from it and take the weight room more seriously and really take practice more seriously, because the practice last week and practice yesterday and today were 2 totally different practices. We just got to take our opponents more serious, I think. We were a little too confident going into the game.
I know y'all are 2-3 right now. Oak Ridge also 2-3, and they got whooped up on by Powell too. I think it was 35-7. So no shame in losing to the Powell Panthers. They're state ranked. And, you just had to put that behind you. But have you been watching some film on the Wildcats? How do you compare Oak Ridge with Powell?
Oak Ridge does a lot of the same stuff, kinda, that Powell does. They like to run the ball, and they like to throw screens, and they really like to get the ball deep to number 2, and they like their tight end as a passing threat as well.
Here they have a pretty highly recruited tight end. It's just a sophomore.
Yeah, number 3, I do believe, is his number.
So you play middle linebacker, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Have you been able to play fullback any this year as well?
Yeah.
I know you're a junior, and I remember when you came in as a freshman, you got some action. I think it was on the defensive line.
Yeah, as a freshman, the only thing I played was kickoff return, and then as a sophomore, I played defensive end.
Okay, I guess that's what I remember. But you got thrown into the fire pretty early. Last year, and I know Coach Hammock and staff's real high on you, and you're a tough kid, and especially playing there at middle linebacker.
Yeah, middle linebacker is a tough job. I mean, every job on the field's tough, but.
Walter, you have any questions for Jackson?
Yes, Jackson. How many years have you been playing football? And I guess you got started quite a bit because your father being in football as well.
Yeah, I've been playing football for 11 or 12 years. My dad got a ball in my hands at a very young age.
And any other sports that you excel in or like, I guess?
When I was growing up, I played football, basketball, and baseball, but I only played, ever since middle school, I've only played football.
Okay, what do you hope to play college football, and what sort of different subjects would you like to major in?
College football is realistic for me, and I want to do it if I get the opportunity to. But school-wise, I've been thinking about either engineering or business.
Jackson, I remember when you was just growing up. I think first time I saw you, you was playing basketball, and you were really quite good. I remember at the community center, and you was just really playing well. I knew then you was going to be a really good athlete.
Yeah, I was a better athlete when I was younger than I am now. I personally think.
It's a lot more to think about and what you want to truly go after, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot more goes into sports as you go up in the levels.
Oh yeah.
And Jackson, after Oak Ridge, you got Anderson County coming up. I know you want to take one game at a time, but looking down the road, what's your thoughts on the season? What's some of the goals for the Dragons?
The goal is to walk out of Oak Ridge with a win, then go and take down Lenore City and Carnes and become region champs and get a first-round playoff game at home. That's the goal. But as far as Anderson County is concerned, just like Oak Ridge, it's just another football game. We got to go out there and play football, do what we're coached to do, and it'll work itself out.
Talk a little bit about that playoff win last year at Oak Ridge. How did that feel? I know for the community, it was, Walter said that was his present, and it was a win for. So proud of you guys for getting that win last year. But just talk a little bit about that victory over Oak Ridge last season.
Special. They defeated us at home in the regular season, so we went into the game with a chip on our shoulder, and we shut them out in the second half. But after the game, I remember hugging Coach Hammock. He was emotional. I remember hugging Dad. It was special. It's one to remember for sure.
Of course, your dad, Robbie Harrell, a principal at Clinton, he played on the 92 Dragons, made it to the state championship. They had a big win over Oak Ridge his senior year, and as he talked a little bit about you, about when he played. He
said that last year reminded him a lot of it, more towards the end of the season when we got things going in the right direction. But really what he's been saying is that this group we've got has a chance to do it if we go get it.
Of course, your dad, he coached the junior varsity team last season and did a great job running that. But I'm glad to see him as the principal at Clinton High School. But I know he calls you Sticks. You wear number 11, and that was a Scotty Witt's number. So he said Scotty would have been proud of you with that lick you put on that Cougar a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, thinking of it that way, it's big shoes to fill. He was a great athlete, probably one of the best, probably the best athlete to come out of Clinton. His nephew, Noah, plays linebacker next to me. We're good buddies, so.
Yeah, Noah Witt, Jackson, what would you like to major in college? Did you touch on that a while ago?
Yeah, I'm thinking about either engineering or business.
Right. And, okay, what's the Friday, what's the schedule like for the team? Y'all pregame meal and all this?
Yeah, so we get out of, well, we don't get out of school, but we go to football class at about 2:30, I think. And then we just relax, get ready, eat our pregame meal normally like 3:30, somewhere in there, and then have meetings with all of our positional coaches, team meetings, etc., and walk down to the field and start pregame.
How do you like playing at Blankenship? Do you get into all the pageantry? You know, they got the players walking down the steps, the train horn going on. Does that motivate you any or psych you up? Or?
It don't scare me at all. I know that for sure. If anything, it fires me up more than it fires them up. Because I don't like when somebody thinks they can come in there and beat me.
All right, we're visiting with Jackson Harrell, middle linebacker, fullback for the Clinton Dragons, just a junior. Jackson, before you go, would you like to give a shout out to anybody out there watching? Or listening?
I don't really know who's listening, so.
Can you beat your sister in one-on-one?
Yeah.
She's pretty good. She can shoot the 3-ball, I know, and also is pretty good shooting free throws.
No, she ain't gonna be shooting no free throws, so that doesn't matter.
That's pretty good.
You're not going to get in the paint, is she? Okay, Jackson, we appreciate you joining us tonight, and good luck Friday night, and get another win over those Wildcats.
Beat the Wildcats.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was Jackson Harrell, and we thank him for coming in, junior and high school student athlete. We'll go ahead, take another break. You're watching the OEB Law Sports Talk on WYSH.
September's here, and it's time to gear up for fall activities and family adventures. I'm Ray Varner at Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, where our pre-owned vehicles deliver the value you need with reliable service and quality you can trust. Drive in style with this 2022 Ford Escape SEL all-wheel drive, loaded with features, $26,975. Enjoy the sunshine and fall air in this 2018 Ford Mustang Convertible Premium, $24,550. Load up the family and all your gear in this 2020 Lincoln Nautilus Reserve, fully equipped, $30,997. At Ray Varner Ford, we're dedicated to offering affordable prices. Check out this 2017 Ford Focus ST, $19,950. Make lasting memories in a 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4x4, $29,789. Need car service? Visit our Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center today for all your car maintenance needs. Local you trust? Pre-owned vehicles you can afford. Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, I-75 exit 122, or shop us online at rayvarnerford.com.
Ray Varner Ford. Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing, anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to the important things, like learning how the printer works. That's simple human sense. Contact Fox Insurance Group at 865-482-0513 or find us online at grayfoxins.com today.
If you're looking for new windows, siding, roofing, sunrooms, decks, and more, there's a company right here in Knoxville that can handle all that for you. WeatherTamer has been in business for 64 years and has provided folks with quality improvements to their homes all over East Tennessee. You can count on WeatherTamer to make your home look better and increase the value of your home. Let WeatherTamer protect your home from the weather. And right now, for the first 25 callers, they're offering 10% discount. Call WeatherTamer for details. 865-688-0311. Online at weathertamer.com. When quality counts, call WeatherTamer.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
Big C's Barbershop. This isn't a sit around, get your hair colored 13 different shades while getting your nails done type of place. At Big C's Barbershop, it's all about getting a great haircut, shave, and beard trim fast, good, and at a great rate. Don't just wait and wait and wait for a haircut. Get to Big C's Barbershop. Come on in and see Master Barber Clarence Adamson. Big C's Barbershop at 108A Oak Ridge Turnpike. Great haircut at a reasonable rate.
Hello, this is Carol at Clinton True Value Home Center. We have been serving our customers for many years, and we are still here to serve you. We are a source for all projects, commercial and home use. Our September bargain of the month is Pennzoil, quarts of oil, tape rulers, wheelbarrows, primers, and more. We are located at 130 JD Industrial Parkway in Clinton, Tennessee. Our phone number is 865-457-1593.
Welcome back into the OEB Law Sports Talk on WYSH, and we hope to have Clinton Middle School coach Eric Woodard joining us here tonight, so hopefully he'll come back in. But in the meantime, we still have Jackson Harrell with us, middle linebacker, fullback for the Clinton Dragons, and also James David Meredith sitting in as well. James, David, your brother understands in the Pride of the Southland band.
Yes, sir.
And how's he liking that?
Oh, he loves it. He says it's the coolest thing ever. I mean, like, the high school band's cool and all, but I mean, like, it's totally different for him playing in front of 100,000 people, and it's just the skill level's crazy good. It's just like the jump from high school football to college football. It's just the competition and the people you're playing with are just so much better.
And what's your comments on the Tennessee going out to Oklahoma, getting that big SEC win? I
love it. That was awesome. I was so happy. Because I was so sick of hearing all the Oklahoma fans run their mouth, and I was so happy to watch our defense just play amazing, and the first half offense just played really good. I know in the second half we kind of pulled it back a little bit, which I would have liked to see us put up another 50. That would have been awesome. But it's all right. It was a great win. Makes us look good, so I'm very happy.
Right, and Jackson, your thoughts? I know you're a defensive guy there. Tennessee held Oklahoma to 36 yards rushing. What was your thoughts on that victory by the Vols?
Yeah, holding them to 36 yards on the ground's big, because if you want to win a football game, you got to be able to run the ball. And once you make a team one-dimensional and they can only throw the ball on you, you can drop a defensive lineman and bring a defensive back in if you really want to. I know Tennessee didn't do that. They kept that fourth D lineman in there for a pass rush. But, yeah, it's big. When you control the game on the ground, the probability of winning skyrockets.
Mm-hmm. Walter, what's your thoughts? You got any notes on that game?
Well, I thought if any time you end up having the defense only giving up, what'd you say, 32 yards or something unbelievably low, if it's under 100 yards, your probabilities of winning skyrocket beyond comprehension unless you have somebody that puts up 500 yards passing, which, of course, that didn't happen. I thought the Tennessee defense is probably the best they've been since late 90s, early 2000s, and then prior to that, go back to the mid-1980s and even back to the 70s. I mean, they are coming to play.
Well, this defense, as you mentioned, they're probably the best since the early 2000s with the big John Henderson and Will Overstreet and company. And just throughout the 90s, you know, Tennessee's defense was really good, and it's just great to see have this type of defense. Tennessee, number 5 in the country, and you know, quarterback play, everything just seems to be clicking for the Vols.
And one thing I don't understand is how Ole Miss is still ranked as high as they are, which I know they're probably undefeated, but they played a bunch of goofs, and Missouri's not played much of a schedule. I'm glad we're getting the reading and coverage that we should have as being 5 in the country.
And a big game coming up in the SEC this week. The Vols got the week off, but Alabama. See, Georgia's at Alabama, and I want to get all of y'all's takes on that. Jackson, what's your who's going to win that game, Georgia or Alabama? What's your thoughts?
Alabama's good. They have Milroe and they have that young receiver, but I think Georgia will come out on top. I think their defensive line is just they're too much to handle for pretty much anybody. Tennessee's going to struggle against them, I think. Georgia, they've got Carson Beck and Trevor Etienne, I do believe that's his name, right? I think they'll be able to run the ball okay, at least against Bama, but I think Georgia will come out on top, and I want them to.
You know, both teams, Georgia and Alabama's had games this year where they've sort of struggled. No, Georgia beat Kentucky by 1 point, and Alabama went into the fourth quarter. I believe it was Central Florida.
Yeah.
It was
USF.
really
South
Florida.
Yeah,
it was,
University of South Florida.
It was a really close game. So both teams are sort of, you know, had their moments, but it's really going to be an interesting game. James, Dave, what's your thoughts on Bama and Georgia?
Well, this game could really go hand in hand. I mean,
The National Weather Service in Morristown has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Morgan County, northeastern Ray County, central Loudoun County, northeastern Meigs County, southwestern Anderson County, southwestern Knox County, Roane County, south central Scott County, until 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 6:46 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles east of Spring City, or 10 miles south of Rockwood, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Clinton, Lenore City, Kingston, Rockwood, Loudoun, Wartburg, Farragut, and Fairview. This includes the following highways: Interstate 40 in Tennessee between mile markers 341 and 385. Interstate 75 in Tennessee between mile markers 73 and 84. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Time goes on.
Well, let's hope so. And you know, they say Georgia's the new Alabama, and we've seen that over the last few years. But you know, Alabama defeated them last year in the Southeastern Conference Championship. So right now, we need to take another break. We'll be right back to finish the show. You're listening to the OEB Law Sports Talk here on WYSH.
What's the second largest investment that most of us will make in our lifetime? A vehicle. So take care of it using Detail Pros of Kingston.
I'm Dwayne Farmer with Detail Pros, owner-operator. So here we recondition anything from your normal daily driver cars to exotic cars, motorcycles, boats, RVs, aviation. Not only do we recondition all these, but we also can ceramic each one of these as well with System X. We're really reconditioning specialists.
You guys do ceramic coating. Tell us about that.
The ceramic coating is a process that's used to protect the paint and protect your investment through UV protection, paint, tree acid rain, or what have you, and it protects your vehicle and your investment from all those. You're going to add value to the vehicle. We use System X ceramic coatings. They actually report to Carfax, so that does help in retaining the value of your vehicle.
Protect your largest investment. Call Detail Pros today or find them online. Detail Pros.
Our website is detail-prostn.com. 865-900-1901.
Welcome back into the OEB Law Sports Talk here on WYSH. My name's John Sleepy Williams, filling in for Jasper Young, and we really miss Jasper here tonight. Does a great job. Hope he gets to feeling better. Also, Walt Stair and James David Meredith in studio. Also, we have a student athlete of the week, Jackson Harrell. And Walter, I know you got a few more questions for Jackson.
Well, Jackson, tell us your measurements, your height, your weight, what your general weightlifting regimen is, and how long a period of time, the conditioning goes besides your practice.
I'm 5'9". I weigh about 210 pounds. It obviously changes, but in the weight room, I squat 405 and I bench 205. I work out some on my own. Well, some. I work out a lot on my own during the off season at National Fitness Center in Oak Ridge. But in season, we try to keep it light so we don't go into games sore from working out. But just squats, bench press, negative squats, leg press, incline bench, pull-ups, sit-ups, push-ups. Sit-ups are really important. If your core is not strong, it holds the rest of your body together, so the rest of your body's not going to be strong. But when I'm in the weight room, I hit it hard and make the most of the time I have in there.
And how much have you progressed from, say, last year to this year? And I know you're getting stronger as time goes on and getting a bigger physique.
Yeah, going into my sophomore year, I squatted, I don't remember, but I increased my squat over 100 pounds, and I increased my bench about 50 pounds, I want to say. I don't exactly remember what my numbers were before, but I've definitely gotten stronger, gotten smarter football-wise. That's really important, because if you're on the field, you got to be able to come to the sideline and let coach know what you see, because they see a lot from up top, but they don't see everything.
Jackson, we certainly appreciate you dropping by. You definitely know the game of football, and we look forward to you on Friday night taking out the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think it'll be an exciting game Friday. I think we'll come out on top, but it'll be a fight for sure.
Jax, before you go, as we play in the same fantasy football league, I sort of got the bragging rights on him. I beat him in week 1, and I knocked him out of the playoffs last year. So just real quick, talk about your fantasy football team this year.
My quarterback, Anthony Richardson, is very disappointing. He had one good game.
Who's your backup?
Deshaun Watson. He's not all that great either.
So you might be in the trade market. But before we finish the show, Walter's got the games of the week here in week 6. We're halfway through the season.
Yeah, week 6 of high school football. Clinton at Oak Ridge. Carter's at Anderson County. Sequatchie County at Coalfield. Campbell County at Daniel Boone. Wartburg Central at Eagleton. Oneida at Greenback. Oakdale at Harriman. Midway at Jellicoe. Knoxville Fulton at Carnes. Rockwood at Kingston. Sunbright at Oliver Springs. Knox Halls at Powell. That ought to be a dandy. Cleveland at Red Bank. William Blunt at Science Hill. And this one, Robertson Innovation at South Pittsburgh. That's an interesting name for a high school.
Yeah, I don't believe we'll be picking that game tomorrow night, will we?
Probably not.
So we're about to wrap it up here for the OEB Law Sports Talk. We appreciate everyone tuning in. So get on out and watch your favorite high school team. I'm going to brag on Anderson County Mavericks. I think they've won 41 straight region wins. I saw in the Clinton Cougar last week. I know they've got Carter this week, but Dragons will be playing Anderson County next week. But Anderson County up to number 2 in the polls. Walter?
Yeah, in 4A. And, of course, we are playing continuous top teams that are in the top 5 in all kinds of different classifications. We played Powell, we played Knoxville West and Cleveland, all in the top 5 in their respective divisions. But that's the only way you get better, playing the best. That's no doubt about that. I guess, are we about headed onward there, Melissa? Yes. Okay.
So that's going to do it here for the OEB Law Sports Talk on WYSH. Thank you to Jackson Harrell of the Clinton Dragons for joining us in studio. Also, James David Meredith and Walter Steer. I'm John Sleepy Williams, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, Jasper will be back in this seat.
You've been listening to Tuesday Night Sports Talk, sponsored by OEB Law. Tune in next Tuesday from 6 to 7 for more Sports Talk with Jasper and Walt on AM 1380, FM 99.5, FM 101.1, Comcast Channel 1086, and the World Wide Web at WYSHradio.com. Also, check us out on Facebook. Until next week.